Yeah, and what's interesting too when it comes to draft, what they're gonna get in the Dragon Lane, like Random has fell 1-6-2 in his previous games, and Oxy also inconsistent, 0-5-0 on Elsu. So I feel like it's gonna come down to how well the side laners also play and how many deaths they give over.
Richter first ban to get this underway, and Florentino finding his usual home in the top right, if not the top left.
I think it's interesting, Matt, you mentioned they need to show they're a contender here. It doesn't get any easier than this, and I don't mean that as a slice at Cream, I mean that as praise to Nova and Team Queso. Qlash have had a somewhat mediocre season. If they want to demonstrate they're coming to the finals to play, they need to do well in this match, because if you can't take a game off Cream, your odds of doing so against the other top two teams are slim.
Interesting ban here with Teamy, and I like it because they want to increase their odds, like you said, TJ, is because Teamy has been kind of their crux. They have lost into Teamy comps so many times, like Nova beat them with Teamy, for example, and I feel like that is a smart ban, but this is not a good pick because you have Elsu and Sephiroth open. What's going on?
But it's Qlash. They don't really like Elsu. We've seen him play some pretty mediocre Elsus a couple of times. I don't hate them maybe admitting the weakness, going for the character they think will be more impactful in their draft.
But I don't think of Veres as being an obvious
Until
pick for
Breaker.
Qlash.
Until Breaker, I would have agreed. But when Breaker on Nova demonstrated what a good Varus can do, all of a sudden I see potential of the Varus to be more impactful than a Sephiroth, more impactful than an Elsu, but it does need to be played very, very well.
They have had to expect this draft. I know Mowgli, he planned this out. They knew that Sephiroth and Elsu are taking, so the next picks are going to reveal to me what they plan to run into this competition. Varus is going to give them top lane dominance, hands down, because Richter is banned. There's no Florentino. Varus is going to win that matchup in the Darkslayer lane, but they need to convert that top lane dominance into pressure at the rest of the map, and they're going to pick some very powerful early game heroes here with Lindis and potentially Superman.
I like both of them. The Lindis in the jungle or the sideline gives them very quick farm and sustained damage in team fights. The Superman we've seen very effective into the Elsu because of his repositioning potential and the speed at which he approaches.
So that's probably what, Random and Knights?
At a guess, it depends whether or not it depends where this Lindis is going. But either way, it will be played by one of them.
Yeah, and one thing too about Qlash, they actually played Ignis, so they actually have experimented with some weird compositions. Ignis didn't work out for them, but they did play Superman Lindis, and that worked out for them because they're more comfortable with how these two heroes and the players on those heroes work together with their aggression and engages here. So I do like Lindis Superman being picked up for them because that combo duo has been great for Qlash.
Taking a little bit of time. The Cream, not entirely unusual, but
this is their last pick before the second ban phase, so they need to consider what is least likely to be targeted by Qlash. Let that slip through. They decide jungle focus needs to be a priority. They get the Murad real quick.
Yeah,
Are they right that jungle focus needs to be a priority?
Yes. If you look at the last game where they had the Lindis Superman combo, Random got 2 kills by 5 minutes. Under 5 minutes, he got 2 kills. So Random on Lindis is going to shine this game, I feel. And then the Superman combo that they have is going to give them continued pressure across that early to mid-game phase.
I'm also seeing the really fun duo we've seen a lot. Frost and Alex P.
Yeah.
Oftentimes that means a lot of poke damage coming through from Alex P. The Murad of Frost in this case will be responsible for cleaning up right off the bat the damage coming through from the Elsu, presumably played by Oxy. I really like that, as Frost has shown he's very good at hunting down low HP targets. Yeah, he definitely is once he shines. And one interesting thing though, when they did have Elsu in bottom, Oxy had a 0-5 game, so they really struggled, and then Frost's jungle got invaded a lot. But that was when they were facing a Darcy. So this could turn out the same if Qlash can exert that early game pressure and deny jungle from Frost, because when that happens, Frost really struggles because he just doesn't come online, especially with this Murad pick.
So we had Annette, Roxy, Bolden, and Omen.
And Yobenith hovered here. That would be curious. They do still need a support over on Cream Esports, and Yubanith is something the noob has played quite a bit, but it seems to me a little bit more static. The one major advantage, of course, is that it can stop the Superman dead in their tracks, but I feel like Alindis will have a field day against a slow-moving character like that.
Oh,
it's Tulin, however,
Tulin.
that suddenly gets switched in.
I like that because Tulin's going to give them that early game fight back because Sephora, Tulin are such a strong duo together. That range, the level 2 dominance of Tulin, and Alistair could be potentially picked up here. Wow, that I don't think so because Liliana's already picked. So it's going to be something else. And Mina, we saw Mowgli play Mina, but the biggest problem with Mina is he cannot get focused out because he engages really well, but he doesn't juggle the aggro, and Mowgli ends up dying first.
Regardless of this, Mina Qlash seems to be diving in. This is a very engage-focused composition. Lead with the Mina Superman duo. Varus, Liliana to follow. Lindis hovering in the back lines, reigning in the damage because that lock-in, we know this will be jungle Lindis.
That's such a good front line too for Lindis. Varus, Superman, Mina, that is an amazing front line and also a good counter-engage tool.
My one problem is this Cream Esports side, apart from this Yubanith, which I did raise concerns about, does look really good. The Yubanith is pretty much the ultimate in frontlining. He'll be able to shrug off a lot of that initial engage. Then you have Elsu being able to respond with ranged poke, Sephora, Tulin, and Murad as a counter dive. That's a really good comp.
Yeah, and we saw the Asia teams play Ibanez engages so well. They know how to go in, focus, use the Nature's Realm, and whoever gets caught by Nature's Realm, bye-bye. They're going to be focused and killed. But it's not going to be Nature's Realm. It's going to be a Malik instead.
I
thought you'd be more confident about that.
Support Malik isn't something we see a lot of, and genuinely for good reason. But I like the... Oh, wait.
But it's Frost on?
No, it's actually top lane. It's going to be Dark Slayer Malik.
So mid Elsu? Yeah, okay. Got it. Got it. All good. It'll be Alex P in the mid with the Tulin, and Elsu down bot, and it will be side lane Malik. So I actually really do like this. Again, the Malik isn't ostensibly their support being played, but they'll get really tanky, and they have a little bit more mobility than a Yubanith would, because the Yubanith needs to be able to go to a location, sit still, and tank. Malik can move across a fight and is pretty much unkillable so long as that fight is happening within melee range. He'll thrive into the Mina, he'll thrive into the Superman, and he'll buy time for the rest of his team to throw out damage back into them.
Yeah, if Qlash is not up 5 kills and 5,000 gold by 10-minute mark, they're going to lose this game. Because Elsu and Murad are going to just come right online, and they need to have at least 5,000 plus and 5+ kill lead for them to then snowball this game and win it. Because if Qlash doesn't win mid and early and mid, they're done for.
So a 5,000 lead.
Oh,
and
yeah,
a 5
by
kill
10
lead
minutes.
by 10 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like the bare minimum you need lead to basically push that lead.
Okay.
Yeah. If they get 10,000, even better. We'll see.
Well, yeah.
The advantage,
that's like twice as better, right?
The advantage they have is this is a pretty scale-focused team from Cream.
Okay.
If they don't stay in this game, and even if they don't get ahead, Cream Esports are going to struggle to make that Elsu hurt, to make that Murad hurt. They'll both be completely ineffectual. So if Qlash are able to get a lead, it's very difficult for Cream to turn it round, but that does put a lot of emphasis on the early game.
Here it comes, Qlash and Cream. If Cream win one of these 2 games, and Cream a third in EU, but Qlash would like to take it from them starting now.
And it will be, kind of curiously, mid-Elsu. That Tulin drifting down towards the bottom lane. They will be played by Oxy in the mid and Alex P in that Dragon lane on 2.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how much of an impact Alex P will have on this Tulin because that's one of his best heroes. And you can see he's winning the trade against the Superman. So I like how they switched it up because Superman can be a problem for an Elsu in the Dragon lane if played correctly.
It wasn't on camera, but I would like to highlight Oxy just kind of wandered into the enemy jungle and 1v1'd to Malik for a bit. He's just having fun.
Really? I didn't see that. And Oxy is on this Elsu, which we saw him. If he can scale into late game, maybe he'll have a better game because last week wasn't the best performance on Elsu.
But this mobility that he's already showing, this willingness to just wander across the map is a really good sign. I've said many times, a good Elsu looks a little bit like a Valheim.
Yeah.
Pressing very far into melee range.
One key thing is Red was the jungler last week. Now he's playing in the Darkslayer lane. And Random is not going to play the side lane, but now Random will be the jungler. Which is like an interesting switch up that they're able to swap with each other here.
Knight pokes into a fight, meets several of those players.
Yeah, I like what Qlash is doing. They're setting up for the rotation. You can see the counter rotations happening here, but they have river control, which means Qlash is in a good spot.
Oh, Mowgli
Wow.
forces the flicker out of the noob, pulling him in with the Death Scythe. Didn't yet have the ultimate, the Dark Dominion, to lock him into that fight, but you can already see how deadly Asmina is.
Yeah, and look at the clear there on Varus. That's why Varus is prioritized, because she is the most dominant side laner right now, putting more pressure than his Malik can. However, Malik is the one rotating, though. Hot is rotating to his team towards the dragon side of the map here.
Big rotate down bottom. Cream Esports do respond. Frost will arrive. Hot with the shock in. Mowgli called out by Thunderbird. That's an excellent double kill to Cream right off the bat.
Yeah, and this is why the top lane rotation is so important. Hot with that Malik play. Level 4, use that shock ultimate, secure the kill, and now Qlash is behind when they're the ones that need to win this early game. They just give 2 deaths over. Not good for Qlash.
And the focus on Darkslayer as well. Just as we finish putting so much emphasis on the early game, Cream begin dominating it.
Now they're going to use that dragon to not invade, and potentially, yeah, they're going to take that red golem as well.
Thunderbird for his second kill. Alex P earning his pay here today.
Yeah, Knight tried to stand in the way and take the damage from the Thunderbird, but it connected to Mowgli, and now that's 2 deaths for Mowgli, and they're 1,000 gold behind and 3 deaths down, and an Abyssal Dragon as well. The next rotation, the next fight is going to make or break Team Qlash here, because they have the early game comp versus an Elsun and Murad that wants to get to late.
How do you feel about this specific matchup? Hot into red. As we do get into it, you can see the life steal kind of being countered by the pure shielding. Normally we say Malik is the ultimate melee range character.
Ooh.
Here, they comboed well. Redemption's very low, but they don't finish him. Frost bails out too soon. Hot barely survives. Redemption just leaves on no HP.
What a crazy play there. And the matchup, Varus is better than Malik because she has the lifesteal. She'll be able to out-damage, out-trade him. But that was insane how he survived that. That was critical, and I love the rotation by Knight coming up there to make sure they do not take a free tower.
Knight rolls up, but the mid lane does fall, possibly as a result. Cream Esports do take the first tower of the game, despite that fumbled gank up top.
Yeah, that's a great play by Cream.
Dark Dominion, though. The noob goes down. Excellently done by Qlash, leveraging Random, who's still farming quite well.
Yeah, that was a huge Dark Dominion by Mowgli there. They need to trade back because they lost a mid lane tower, which is going to open up so much map pressure against them.
Oh, Frost, that was good. This Knight to follow, and they've got the kill confirmed. Him and Oxy sync back up, and it's trade after trade. Cream Esports with a narrow lead.
Yeah, you can see Tulin is 3.2k go. Alex P is going to start doing so much work in this game and is going to support the Murad at 3,000 gold here. He's in the lead, and that is not good for Lindis.
Frost is just such a good support jungler. Always managing to contribute to fights, even in ways where he's not the primary source of damage. Here the noob goes in though, and Qlash are absolutely slaughtered. Cream Esports do lose Frost. Alex P is low. Random will find the trades, but Hot soars through to the backlines. Him and Redemption need to brawl this out, and Random will find the kill, but the noob's got another trade, leaving just Redemption and Oxy up at full HP on the map.
That was such a crazy engage here. Frost getting his ultimate off, Mowgli getting his ultimate off, and then Random coming in and turning it around and getting these kills. However, they're losing the objective game, TJ. They have lost 2 towers now, and potentially almost a 3rd one.
Potentially more, yeah, as the noob rolls through. Oxy needs to back up as well.
Yeah. So far, though, team fight-wise, Qlash is starting to make a slight comeback. The fact that Random is surviving these fights and then cleaning it up is a very good sign. If they can keep doing that and secure the kill on Frost, then they can turn this game around by just winning one key team fight and then converting that into big objectives like towers and dragons.
Watch out for a Hot though. Ring of the Fiend from the noob gives his speed boost to all the players. Qlash are in big trouble. Dark Dominion does land, but it doesn't matter because of the noob's tides of life. It's a double kill back to Cream.
That was a tough play by them. They're pushing the bot lane, and then they collapse 4 versus 3. Knight is not there with them, and of course they're going to lose that trade. And they got to be careful because these rotations are really catching them off guard.
This is what I was talking about when I said Cream looked like possibly one of the best teams in Europe. When the rotations are on point, they're on point.
Yeah, and on top of that, Mowgli and Qlash, they need to think about their jungle timers. You should not be aggressive and try to push out the lane like that when your jungle is about to respawn.
Dark Dominion from Mowgli. Oh, that's good. The turnaround's there. The noob spends Tides of Life, though. Mowgli doesn't have a tower anymore. Knight cleans things up, pushing Cream back time and time again, but Redemption barely can't quite find the kill. Not even with a flicker. He's chasing for so long. Knight got Oxy, but we stay focused on the noob as he manages to lead away using the water wall to get to safety.
Serpent's Embrace barely missed there. And look at Alex P. He's going to follow up and secure the kill on to Red, and that's going to be over for him. What a crazy game. Mowgli did such a good job with that Dark Domain underneath the tower, though, which allowed Qlash to then counter-attack them and then put the pressure. But because they overextended, weren't able to secure the kills and kept chasing too long, they kind of lost that trade, because instead of chasing, they should have farmed their jungle and get caught back in this gold lead, because they're very behind in gold, and that's not what they want right now. They need to close the disparity between gold and levels.
On double cleave, Mowgli again. Dark Dominion slows things down. Hot just has to bail. Very good defense from Qlash.
Definitely a good defense from Qlash. I do like what Qlash is doing here. They're still playing very aggressive. They're not playing like they're behind, and I think that will make the difference when it comes to these team fights here. They just need a nice engage with the Dark Domain. Ooh.
What about that, Sui? Alex P picked up easily down bottom by Random.
Yeah, and they should not be doing that to Random, because now he's ahead. He's more fed than Frost right now, and you don't want that for the Lindis.
Oh my god, when you see those crit numbers he's distributing.
Yeah, he's going to get, after Clive Sanctity, he's going to start building his Muramasa, that 45% armor pierce. This is going to do a lot of damage. However, they're giving up too much objectives, TJ.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tower race right now. Pressure up top being traded for even pressure down bottom. That's a positive trade for Qlash until high grounds are threatened. Then it becomes negative.
Yeah, you have to protect your high grounds. The key is they have to put map pressure, though. If they do not put any map pressure, they're going to give over free dragons and free Dark Slayers to Cream, and that is their chance. That is the only way to get back into a game here, is you want to catch the other team trying to take the Dark Slayer or the Enraged Abyssal Dragon, kill them, take the dragon, and then you're back in the game. That is what Qlash needs to execute this game, and something that they've been struggling with for the past few weeks.
We did warn about the scale coming through from various Cream members. Random has to be the answer to both Oxy and Frost to have done a great job farming up.
Yeah, that was a great distraction there, and the Rage Abyssal Dragon being taken by Frost means, or not Enraged, that's Abyssal Dragon, not Enraged yet, but Frost taking that dragon. It's a third dragon over to Cream there. You can see the level difference now. It's pretty significant. Level 14s, 13s, and 12s versus levels 9, 10s, and 11s.
I'll be called out here. Knights in the area, 4 members of Qlash, but it's versus a Malik, which means it's a bit of a waste of time unless you have Random to do the damage. Even then, it will take a while. Random, this may not be worth your time. Alex B's here, Thunderbird, eaten by Mowgli. That was very good support play. Knights through as well. Mowgli's probably dead, and the rest of Qlash haven't got the memo. Redemption full commits to this fight. A high ground goes down during that time. Qlash are able to be outmaneuvered there.
Yeah, completely outmaneuvered. That was very unfortunate there. Random, Mowgli did a good job blocking the Thunderbird, but in the end, the rotation collapse came down, and they lost that trade in the speed end of the game.
Knight needs to hold. I don't think he can. The tower's gone. Knight's surrounded. It's all on Random. He's trying to stop this Drake, but the shock of the snipe, that's a deadly duo. He has to play behind the fountain, and his core's gone in the meantime. Game number 1 to Cream.
Yeah, Cream Esports just showing their diamonds. I love that first rotation, and now you can see late game, they're just better at team fights, they're better at the map pressure, and they are basically baiting out the overly aggressive, the chases that Qlash does, and then they turn around that over-aggression into a lead, and it becomes a bigger and bigger lead. So really nice job by Cream.